Last Sunday, I told you that you had to love yourself in order to love your neighbor, in order to love God. And Jesus today says you have to hate yourself and hate your neighbor. There's nothing like being called out by your boss. What is he saying? What is Jesus talking about? Because we know this doesn't square with his teachings about loving God, loving neighbor as yourself, and yet he comes out with these sharp words. And so at first I might have thought, well, it's just a translational thing. We've got a poor translation here in English, and so let's see what this really means. And going back to the Greek that St. Luke would have written in, sure enough, it is hate. Hate so much so that it is the word you would use for your enemies, that it is that kind of hatred. What is Jesus talking about? Let's put this in context. Here he is moving along with his disciples, but the scriptures tell us that he's also being accompanied by a great crowd of people. We don't know why this great crowd is following him. Some of them, I'm sure, have heard his preaching. Others, I'm sure, have witnessed his miracles or at least heard about them. His reputation may have preceded him, and so you probably have some people there who are gawking, who just want to see maybe the celebrity or maybe witness something out of the ordinary, whatever it might be. We don't know why all of these people are following Jesus. And so when he realizes that there's so many folks coming behind him, we see him turn around to them and lay it out on the ground. Like, let me just draw the line for you people. If you are going to follow me, fine. But if you want to be my disciple, if you want to take the next step and move a little bit closer, then let me tell you what it's got to be like. You're going to have a hatred for the things of this world, for your own flesh, for the people in your life, for the stuff that surrounds you. And I don't think he means necessarily that you must hate. But his whole point here is about preparation. So let's start with the last thing he says today. You don't build a tower, you don't wage war if you're not certain of success. I'm not going to get myself in these things if I don't first do my homework, if I don't first count my money, if I don't first make sure I've got enough resources to do all the things that I need to do. I'm not going to start something and then not be able to finish it. So the Lord is calling those who are following him to know what they're getting into and to be prepared. If you're going to take this step, be prepared. And what does that kind of preparation mean? It means that we are attached to ourselves, to the people in our lives, and to the things of this world in such a way that if we were to put that next to our attachment to God, it would appear as hatred. In other words, so different must our love for God and our love for the things of the world be. They can't just be like this. Oh yeah, I love God first, and then I love others, and I love myself, and see how close they are. No, our love and admiration and wonder for God ought to be so high that everything else pales in such comparison that the love we have would appear to be hatred. It's that different. It's that far that how much more the Lord is calling us to love God, that everything else absolutely pales in comparison. This makes a little more sense then, that the way we experience the things of life has to be in proper order with God. Because if they're not, they will come and take the first place. They will come in and offset these other things. It's not wrong to love self unless love for self displaces God. It's not wrong to love father and mother, children, etc., unless that love takes the place of God. It's not wrong to love the things of the world. These are created good, and the Lord has put them into our hands to care for, unless they take the place of God. St. Augustine, in his conversion story, reminded us in his confessions, as he's reflecting upon his life, that God was calling him, and he just refused to hear it because he embraced all of the lesser goods before he embraced the greater good. And because of that, he was not able to hear or see or experience God. The things he was enjoying were good, but they weren't complete. And without that completeness, they become the gods. Well, my love for family, that should be better than love for God. My love for self and how I take care of myself for the world, that satisfies a longing within me. So what happens is we turn those things into gods. Those become the things that motivate our life. That I may be motivated by justice, or I may be motivated by mercy, I may be motivated by beauty or whatever. But if I don't see God in any of that, then I have latched on to something that is passing and something that is lesser, and I have made something a God. I may not call it God, but let's not fool ourselves. I am worshiping something else. We have been created as religious beings. We need God. And if we deny that God is there, we will begin worshiping and living for other things because it is how we are made. God has desired us for more. That more will always call us to go searching and giving ourselves fully. Are we giving ourselves fully to the things of the world, or are we giving ourselves to things of God? The love we have for the things of the world has to be subordinated to the love that we have for God. Otherwise, they become temptations. The church's great tradition reminds us that there are three sources of temptation. That we will be tempted by the evil one, that we will be tempted by the world, and that we will be tempted by our own self. All of these things are things, well, not the evil one, that we should love. But if we love them imperfectly, they will become temptations. So beginning with the evil one, there is this spirit that denies God, a spirit that rejects him, a spirit that says, you are not God, I, as the human being, am God. I determine what is right or wrong. I live for myself. This is the lie of the evil one that already infected Adam and Eve, that I don't need God, I need myself. And I need my own pursuit of happiness and goodness and what is right and what is wrong. And in doing that, then, we set ourselves apart from everyone else. It necessarily divides us from others. If I believe that I am the source of determining what is right or wrong, then that means you are not the source of it. No one is the source of it. I am. I have just made myself a God. Even if I am the God of my own life and that alone, I have separated myself from everyone else because now I'm accountable to nobody and to no God. The evil one wants to pull us away from the ultimate truth. But so does the world. The world offers temptations, the passions that are out there. We look around and we see how the current of culture has slowly slid over the centuries from believing to not believing, to universal to absolutely subjective. And it continues to march down that path. The way of the world is infested with that same spirit that says you need nothing more than yourself. You need nothing more than what is seen here in the world. All we need is the creation. All we need is our own knowledge. All we need are these things. And we continue down that path, and it would be like trying to play Scrabble with missing letters. Like, why can't I spell any words? Who took all the vowels out of the board game? If the vowels aren't there, you will never spell a word. It would be like trying to do physics without math. You can't do it. It would be like trying to understand art without knowing history. You can't do it. If you try to understand truth or even science without philosophy or theology that reveals truth, you aren't playing with a full deck. You are eternally lost. The temptation of the world says we don't need anything more than what you can see or touch. And it leaves us then ill-equipped to go further. And finally, we ourselves become hindrances of our path. That we are tempted, we are temptations. That temptation rises up within me. That the passions within my own body or my own heart and mind. They can run in all different directions. And if I'm angry, well, then I want to exercise that anger. I want to unleash that anger. If I'm lazy, I want to dig into that laziness. If I'm gluttonous, I just want to keep consuming. And all of those passions, no matter how good they feel, will eventually hurt us. Cake is good until you eat too much of it, and then you will throw it up. We can have too much of those things that tempt us, but it doesn't tell us it's too much. The evil one, the world, and our own spirit serve as temptations for us. But the Lord wants us to properly order those things under God, and then they lose their power. If I do not love the world more than I love God, it can't control me. If I do not love myself more than I love God, then I can't control me. If the evil one, he cannot obscure the truth because I'm gazing at the truth. But how do we get there? How do we conquer these things? If you want to get stronger, if you want to get more healthy, you have to eat right and you have to exercise. This is the key. Most people involved in health sciences would tell you practically 75 to 100% of your health is what you eat, even if you don't move around a whole heck of a lot. And so I say to you, watch what you eat. That right here is the table that will feed you and nourish you. Without that, you're not going to be healthy. Number 2, what are the exercises that we have to do to defeat the evil one, the world, and our own soul? Jesus gives them to us. Take up your cross, he said. Prayer, fasting, almsgiving. We hear these during Lent a lot, but we should be thinking about these every day of the year. What am I doing to pray? How am I fasting? And where is my charity? Am I praying? Do I have my sight fixed on God so that nothing else can obscure what I see as the truth? Am I fasting? Am I training my body and training my will to not just go with whatever feels right in the moment, but that I learn self-discipline and I learn how to live in this world that wants to conquer me? And what about my charity? Am I practicing charity? Because if I'm willing to give time, talent, and treasure, then I am free. I don't live in fear. I don't live in hardship. I am free because I am constantly giving of myself, and nothing can hold me back. Prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. These are the exercises that help us overcome the temptations, the evil one, the world, and our own soul. When the Lord says, you must hate all of these things, he is right in saying that if those things become God to you, you must hate them, or you will be forever lost. If they are properly put behind God, then we will find happiness, even here and now, and we will know his goodness forever. The Lord has called us to love God and to love one another, but in order to do that, they have to be in the right order. This is how we move forward: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving to overcome the temptations that enter into our lives.